Hello! In this video, I'm going to cover things that you want to do to prepare for your new foster. And the first thing is that you want to pick a space where you can control as many things as is possible. Ideally, you have a hard surface. Now, my only hard surface is upstairs in my kitchen, and that's where I housed the foster dogs in the past, but you know, it's just too high traffic of an area. It's harder to keep them separate from my resident dog, and when I work during the day, I don't necessarily want to be in the kitchen and just hang out there. So this time I chose to do it on the lower level of my home with the baby gate at the bottom of the stairs, and then of course a separate cordoned off area for the dog themselves. Now, while it's a carpeted area, I'm hopeful, we'll see if those are, I regret those words, I'm hopeful that I can stay on top of the potty game for the dog and that I don't have to clean up too many accidents, because not only do I have carpet down here, but it's white and it shows absolutely everything. So the things you want to do once you have a nice space where that you think would be perfect for your dog is you really want to make sure it's puppy proof. So if you are getting a puppy or really any dog, many dogs like to chew, some dogs never grow out of it. So you really want to go around the room, both at your level and then kind of get down on the ground and look for any wires, any small pieces of anything, or loose pieces of something that they might be able to get at and chew. The next thing that I like to do, if I have a dog that I think will be a shedder, and I think Serena will be, she's the dog that I'll be bringing home on Saturday, one day away, and I'm so excited, is I like to put a blanket, an older blanket, on my couch so that at least part of the couch will not be covered in dog hair, and I have the vacuum nearby as well. So the first thing that you need to worry about is picking your dog up and bringing them home. Prepare. Hopefully, that's why you're watching this video. I like to have my dog in a kennel, my foster dog in a kennel when I'm bringing them home, because many times they can be very scared. Maybe they've just had a whole long journey. They've just gone through intake, gone through the veterinary system, and they're usually pretty anxious. And so I find a kennel can be really helpful because I'm driving on my own, so it keeps both me and the dog really nice and safe. If you have two people picking up the dog, and it's a dog that wants to be held, sometimes that can be really comforting for them. So it's kind of just a matter of assessing what the dog's personality type seems to be once you get there. And many times the foster organizations are really good at explaining to you kind of what the dog's personality is, if they have any triggers, etc., to the extent that they know. But really a good mindset when you go into any fostering situation is you don't really know what to expect, and you're just going to work on being prepared for any scenario. Okay, this is my setup. You can see I have a wire kennel with a dog bed, a blanket, and then I have a little outside area here with a tarp down on the bottom, a blanket, and potty pads. And I actually have a camera where I'll be able to watch her and hopefully judge how she does when I'm not there. It's just a Blink camera that instead of being outside, I have inside my house pointing to her. This is the first time I'm actually setting up my setup in my guest bedroom. And my first night, I'm thinking I'm just going to sleep in here with her. That way, if she's anxious, even just being able to see me or know that I'm nearby or hear me breathing or smell me can definitely be soothing to a dog as they're decompressing. And some dogs want nothing to do with you, and it's more soothing not to be there. So that's just a judgment call on the day of. Finally, I have some water and food bowls here. I have them on top of her kennel because with puppies, it's particularly important to really limit their food and water consumption, or at least give it to them on a schedule so that you can better set them up for success when it comes to potty training. Okay, so you've brought your dog home, you have your kennel area set up. You might be asking yourself, what else do I need? So I have a couple of other items here. First of all, you'll need lots and lots of treats in really, really teeny tiny minuscule sizes. In fact, oftentimes it's helpful to use the dog's meal as a training opportunity each time as well. So whether that training opportunity be making them feel more comfortable with the crate by feeding them inside of it, or if it's using those treats in order to teach them different types of behaviors. I'm hoping that one of the first things that we work on together is a look at me command. Establishing to your dog right away, getting them in that they should be looking to you, or they can find that very comforting, especially puppies. Like they want a leader they can feel safe with. And so that's a great command to work off of right off the bat, but we'll cover that in the next video. Next, puppies poop and pee a lot, so you need a carpet cleaner and rags, and just to have them handy, as well as paper towels. So I mean, I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but when they have an accident, you just soak it up, spray it, leave it, let it marinate, clean it with some water, and then try to soak up the rest of the water with this towel. And this time around, I'm really glad I'm doing this in my basement near my washing machine, because I'm guessing I might have to use it a fair amount. Finally, the fun stuff, the toys for puppies. So right now I just have them in a really boring cardboard box. I need to get like a cute basket or something down here, but maybe a box is better because puppies chew on everything. This is just a ball that I have for actually kids, and I don't know how puppy safe it is, but we're gonna see. I thought she might enjoy like using her nose to roll it around. I have a couple of squeaky toys. I have a couple of bones. Puppies love to chew, and I love these bones that have the marrow inside. You don't want to give them too many or too often because that marrow is really fatty, but for puppies in particular, this is a really enticing, high-value treat. Can be great for crate training, and certainly great for staving off that chewing instinct. Finally, we've got a couple of ropes and such. These are great toys for them just to chew on. They're usually made very sturdily. It's also really nice to play tug. Playing tug is something that a lot of puppies love to do. And while it might seem counterintuitive, like that's going to encourage them to be worse at drop it, it's actually a really great teaching opportunity to show them, to teach them the command drop it. And again, we'll go through that in a little bit later video. Finally, for the ride home, this is one thing I forgot to mention. I am planning on either bringing this bone or some sort of bully stick in the kennel, just so that, again, it's a really positive, exciting place, and they might be too nervous to use them, but at least they'll be there if she wants to. This is another different type of squeaker toy. Kind of sounds like a duck call. And it's a little bear pretending he's pooping, so who doesn't love a little bit of poop humor? I've got a couple of balls in here. Used to be a squeaky toy, just again, this one's really durable, good for chewing, although not that interesting because it doesn't squeak, so we'll see if she likes it. I have a Kong, and nothing in it necessarily, but sometimes dogs even just love being able to chew on it as is. And this is actually a Kong type toy that at one point had a squeaker in its head, but one of the dogs I've been fostering or help raise has chewed it out. But it has a really nice rubber center. Again, the idea with the toys that you want to choose is you want a mix of sensory experiences. So things that sound different, that would feel different in their mouth, just different things for them to explore, and then you can kind of see what they like to do. I almost forgot, this is one of my favorite toys ever. So this is like a telescopic stick that folds down nice and small if you want to travel. And you can just kind of get it out, and then it has a squeaky toy, which actually has like a crinkly thing, and then a squeaker in it somewhere. This one might be there we go. Might be kind of on the way out. It's kind of made its way up in its head. This is really great for playing with dogs because you can kind of like really stimulate their prey drive and really make the toy move for them. And most puppies especially, like, they just love this thing, and it's a nice way to exercise them where you don't have to be like running around like crazy all the time. So this is going to be her potty area, and what I'm planning on doing is having a couple of potty pads right by the door, just so that she starts associating, even if she can't make it outside, she's at least getting close to the door, which should help to build that habit over time. Now, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I often like to also leverage doggy diapers to the extent that they're a training tool and not something that the dog is just relying upon and not going outside regularly. It's important to me because I not only have carpet in the areas I keep my dogs, but I have white carpet. And so it looks disgusting fairly quickly. So they have kinds for male and female dogs. This one's a female dog because that's what Serena will be. It's got a little spot for her tail. And yeah, particularly if I have older dogs that mark, I always get a belly band for them, because once they start marking, then my dog starts marking, and it's this very unvirtuous cycle. Next thing I have by the door are some wipes to wipe off her paws for when we come in. Puppies often are not vaccinated, fully vaccinated when you get them, and often when you are fostering them, you don't really know what level of vaccination they have. So people often don't realize that one of the most deadly viruses is the parvovirus, and it can wipe out puppies very, very easily. So if dogs are ever going to an area where there are other dogs, you always want to wipe off their paws before they come in, just to make sure that you're taking care or giving yourself a higher likelihood of helping them to not get ill. Now my backyard is not trafficked by other dogs, but I just have them by the door because it might be muddy, because this is Minnesota and it's the winter time, and so far our pattern seems to be have some snow, it melts, have some snow, it melts, and that creates a lot of mud. So I hope you found all of that helpful. If you have any questions at all, definitely put a comment down below and I will try to answer them to the extent that I can. I think, you guys will be learning along with me, because I'm not a professional dog trainer and I'm not a professional foster. I have probably watched hundreds upon hundreds of dog training videos online, really educated myself about the different techniques for dog training, and I really like kind of a blended approach, which you should be able to see in the upcoming videos. It's not for everybody. Some people are truly positive reinforcement only. Some people have other techniques, more of a dominance technique that they use. I really find that I like to lean towards positive reinforcement, although sometimes there are some situations where a more dominant approach yields faster results with very, very little to no stress on the dog. The biggest thing with fostering and training is to watch your dog, learn their signals, learn when they're stressed, learn, kind of their, minute things about them. If you think about, for instance, any small children in your life, if you're a parent, you learn what your kid does when they have to go to the bathroom. You learn when your kid is maybe about to go into a temper tantrum. So the more you can invest in time into really getting to know your dog and their signals as quickly as you can, the easier both of your lives will be. And finally, if you're thinking about fostering a dog, I would say just do it. Give it a try. I often get the question so often. In fact, it's just always the first question people ask is like, how can you give them away? And the truth of the matter is that yes, it's hard. It's hard because you become attached to them and you get to like them a lot and love them even sometimes. And it's hard, but when you put a lot of time and energy into finding them the absolutely perfect home for them, it's just so lovely. It's such a lovely gift for the dog. It's such a lovely gift for the new family. It's a lovely gift for me and my home, because I can continue to foster other dogs, whereas if I had another resident dog, I'm not sure that would be something I could handle. So the benefits so outweigh the risks, and if you think that would be a challenge for you, again, I would just say give it a try. It's really, there's no feeling like it when you match a dog with a perfect family. And then I usually ask the families if we can stay in contact via social media, and I can see pictures of them as they grow, and you just really see the dog in their element and know in your heart that you made the right choice. So that's all I have for this video. In the next one, I think we'll start getting into what pickup was like, how this new setup is working for me. We'll get into the beginning levels of training. I'm thinking at the beginning, I'll probably break it down into the first 24 hours or 36 hours, and then we'll start doing some particular topics, like training topics or other things that I'm dealing with. Again, you never know. So again, hopefully all that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.